This is what's crazy. So this is an MS-13 gang member. It's obvious that he is. Anybody that thinks he's not is retarded. And they let him go, and it looks like they're going to they're going to send him to Uganda.
Joining us now for the big close-up interview, border czar Tom Homan. Tom, thanks for joining us tonight. Obviously, a fast-moving case. Abrego Garcia's lawyer says the government is, quote, weaponizing the immigration system against him. My question is...
Isn't that what it's for? That's the... Duh. Of course they are. That's the whole point.
What's your response to accusations that you're weaponizing the immigration system, and will, in fact, Abrego Garcia soon be heading to Uganda?
He is absolutely going to be deported from this country. He's not going to walk the streets of this nation, so he can enjoy the little time he has with his family. And for the person who says we're not going to separate family, well, his family can go with him, because he's...
Oh man, this is the kind of stuff I like to hear. I love to hear this. This is great.
Leaving, he's going to be deported. Look, he's a criminal alien. He's a member of MS-13, which is now a designated terrorist. He's a white beater. He's a human trafficker.
He's
been indicted for human trafficking and alien smuggling. He's a bad person. He's not going to be here. He's been order removed twice. Order removed by 2 different federal judges. He's going to leave this country.
He's going to Uganda,
and his family can go with him. For I can't see who was talking before the sound bites, but whoever said we're taking advantage of broken immigration system, what do they do? What do those people do the last 4 years about this broken immigration system? They let 10.5 million people cross that border. Sex trafficking women and children all-time high. Overdose deaths of fentanyl all-time high. Number of terrorists all-time high. They didn't do anything to fix it. President Trump is keeping his promise to American people to enforce the law, and that's what we're doing. We're making this country safer every day by removing people.
I don't know. He should be happy he's getting sent to Uganda. Could be a lot worse.
Like Abrego Garcia.
Hey, just to follow up, Tom. So just to be
I think
clear,
that they have at the immigration office, they've got a map, and they have a blindfold and some darts, and they just Uganda. Okay, yeah.
Is Abrego Garcia headed to Uganda? The lawyers apparently telling the AP
Spin the wheel.
Just notified on Friday at 4 p.m. that they may remove him to Uganda in 72 hours. Can you confirm that?
Look, Uganda's on the table. We'll see.
It's on the table.
DOJ's, our immigration attorneys and the judges, they're all in negotiations, and we'll see what happens. But Uganda's on the table. We have an agreement with them. It's on the table, absolutely.
Hey, Tom, it's Nicole. 1,700 National Guardsmen across 19 states are getting ready to help DHS crack down on crime and also the illegal immigration. ICE has already ramped up enforcement in D.C. with a new arsenal of SUVs, while the border wall is getting a new coat of paint to keep the illegals off. Now, Secretary Noem is reportedly pushing for a fleet of planes to help with these deportations. But the left is continuing to stand in the way of immigration enforcement as an Obama-appointed judge ruled against Trump's efforts to withhold funding from sanctuary jurisdictions. So here's my question for you, Tom.
This is my idea. Like I've said this before, I think that if we talked about North Korea earlier, I think that we should get a deal with Kim Jong-un where he builds prisons and we can send all of our problem people over to North Korea. Like all of these like illegal aliens, instead of sending them back, we just send them to North Korea. That'd be it, right? And so also he could do that for everybody in the world. So like Mussolini, I don't know if he did that or not, but like I think that's a good idea. And so like it'd be like a super jail, right? And so like you could have this for everybody in the world, right? So like China has somebody who really causes a lot of problems, North Korea. Australia has somebody who causes a lot of problems. Ironically, that's why they're in Australia. But now back up to North Korea. Let's see. Brazil has somebody that's got problems, North Korea. There it is. Who's going to pay it? Well, we pay them to do it. And that way, like maybe like you get North Korea out of like that weird fucking military dictatorship that they have, and they can become a prison country. And then they can use all the prisoners for compelled forced labor to build things. Like I think this is probably in my top 5 best ideas.
The administration, exactly. How are they fighting this lawfare, first of all?
Azkaban?
Look,
something like that.
We got a great DOG. We got Pam Bond head of that, and she's taking it to court. Now, these radical judges are going to continue to stop,
this is a good idea.
Try to stop President Trump from, doing what he promised American people, making this country safe again, removing, the public safety threats, the national security threats who are illegally in the United States. They're not going to stop us from doing this. They're going to put roadblocks up. We're going to take them to court. We'll appeal the decisions, and we'll win the decisions because we are enforcing the law. That's what the other side isn't talking about. We're not making this up. We're enforcing the laws enacted by Congress. ICE is out there every day enforcing the laws enacted by Congress, using the money that Congress gave them to do this, upholding the oaths they took. So we're going to continue doing this, and then President Trump's going to he's going to succeed. We're going to have the safest nation we've ever seen by the time his presidency ends. We are arresting thousands of public safety threats and national security threats every week across this country, and by spreading the National Guard, helping DHS on the streets, it's going to happen that much quicker.
Real quick, Tom, the question I have for you, though, is we're talking about the paint job for the border wall. We're talking about our new fleet of airplanes, but the border control, obviously all the progress is doing incredible things. We're at an all-time low of border crossings, but what are we going to do to expand support the existing Border Patrol agents to the next administration? Because while border crossings may be down right now under Trump, we need to make sure that we have a lasting Border Patrol and immigration policy.
Simple problem. You change the way of voting, and then you gerrymander all the states, so that way all the people that vote get their votes diluted, and that way you just keep winning elections. Literally, like, it's actually the easiest way to do this. Like, I don't even know, like, what. I mean, because you've got your trifecta right now, right? You got to do this in like a year and a half. Good luck. Nah, it'd be easy.
For the
you got to rake it, bro.
Someone else is in the White House.
And that's exactly why President Trump pressed Congress very hard, along with myself and others like Steve Miller, to pass the big, beautiful bill. There's a lot of money in that to continue building that wall, continue building infrastructure, which includes technology within that wall.
No, is this guy? Let me see, because this is more about like other stuff. I'm trying to get back to like that one guy, and so he's going to be deported here. Here we go. Yeah.
All eyes on Maryland this morning as Salvadorian migrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia is expected to report to an ICE facility. What this could mean for his possible deportation to Uganda.
And President Trump
going
is
to Uganda.
To stop crime in Chicago as Mayor Brandon Johnson tries to
future
push back.
Zulu warrior.
Talking to some
That's
of
right.
People directly impacted by the violence in the city.
And Democrats.
He was a Maryland man. Now he's a Zulu warrior.
Summer meeting today. Will the party be able to recover?
Lou Zader, who has the latest on Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. This is all going to play out in real time in Baltimore this morning. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is
could have had it so much easier if he just left. He could have.
There just days after
could have been so easy for him.
A Tennessee jail. He is in the country illegally, of course, and faces human smuggling charges. He's been offered a deal to be removed to Costa Rica if he pleads guilty to those charges. If he doesn't accept that offer, he could be taken to Uganda.
Uganda's on the table. We'll see. I mean, we DOJ's, our immigration attorneys and the judges
going to Uganda
negotiations, and we'll see what happens. But Uganda's on the table. We have an agreement with them. It's on the table. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Abrego Garcia became the focus of critics of the president's illegal immigration crackdown after he was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. The governor of Maryland,
it wasn't a mistake.
Abrego Garcia has lived in recent years, lashed out at the president.
It's the president manipulating the fact that we have a very broken immigration system inside this.
It's not broken. It's totally fine.
Country. But instead of actually doing the work that it requires to fix it, actually working in Congress to come up with a comprehensive immigration bill.
The idea of what their idea of being broken is that they can't invite and add in 1 million illegals into the country, and it's okay. Like, that's what they want. Like, that's what they mean by broken. They don't mean broken as in it doesn't work, because people immigrate every year. But they want to bring over a bunch of third worlders en masse to, I don't know, be like a working slave class, effectively. Fix an artificial problem. Yeah, it's not even a problem. Yeah, they just want open borders. Exactly.
president is using to just working to exploit the brokenness.
Now, during his time in El Salvador, Abrego Garcia was visited by Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen. You see them meeting there. He was also recently, Van Hollen recently spoke to him virtually as well. Now, Van Hollen has been a champion for Abrego Garcia's cause, writing, "We will stay in this fight for justice and due process because if his rights are denied, the rights of everyone else are put at risk."
Doesn't have any rights. He's a legal alien. Shouldn't even be here in the first place. So what a joke. What a joke, bro. Oh, my God.
Abrego Garcia's lawyers won't say whether he is considering that Costa Rica deal, but the government says he must decide by this morning.
Wow.
Todd and Ashley.
Doug Lazader live for us this morning. Doug, thank you. Let's get
If
into
they
that.
end up sending him to Uganda, oh my God, that is going to be crazy.
Question with Oversight Project President Mike Howell. Mike, what do you think will happen? Literally could happen at any moment. If it happens, we will break in and bring it to you. Does he end up taking the deal that would send him to Costa Rica? Or does he basically say, go pound sand, government, I'm going to Uganda?
Yeah, good question. We'll know the answer in a couple hours here. Tom Homan's basically said, you can't stay here. You got to go home. So he can either pick Costa Rica and the warm beaches there or go over to
you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's right.
Uganda, but he is not going to be a quote-unquote Maryland
does he
man
know
for
the
any
way?
longer.
We'll find out.
He never was. He's an El Salvadorian gangbanger who's been doing violence across the country here, including charges of human smuggling over in Tennessee. The country will be a lot safer in a couple hours, regardless of what he chooses.
So, I mean, hypothetically speaking, what happens if he just doesn't show up?
Ooh.
Well, then ICE will go and grab him. I'm sure they're
going to go get
on him. His lawyers, if they're helping him evade ICE, I'm sure could also face some sort of prosecution, or anybody else that might be in the mix. I mean, the entire Democratic apparatus, from the highest levels of politics, including U.S. senators in Maryland, and even our own governor here in Westmore, who's really a Zohran Mamdani type figure with a fake war record, have been standing up and thwarting the federal government and the lawful exercise.
Yeah, they've been causing problems for a bit
the entire time. But I even think it would be too bold a step for them to help him evade. Everyone knows where he is, and we all know where he won't be pretty soon, and that is the United States of America.
Mike, even in the most judicious reading of this for the Democrats, we could say, okay, Democrats, when you were supporting this guy right at the outset, maybe we didn't have all of the information on the potential human smuggling charge.
It's obvious that he did it. I mean, it's obvious. Like, I mean, is the guy's a fucking criminal, wife beater, gang member? Like, what the fuck is this? It's amazing the type of heroes that these people have.
Maybe we didn't have all the information on the potential MS-13 gang affiliations. But what does it say now that even after he was charged with human smuggling, even after we have documented evidence of the potential MS-13 gang connection, that the left is still cheering him on? You saw the sound bites. And, Mike, there's going to be a vigil in about an hour there in your state of Maryland supporting him. What does that say to you?
It's just sad, bro. It's honestly just sad.
It says the mask is completely dropped. This is a major political party in the United States that has built into their DNA over decades illegal immigration as their strategy, as their voting base. That is why they fight deportation so hard, because it is their electorate. These are the people they want to amnesty and give citizenship and voting rights to, because they know they cannot convince Americans to vote for them. We've seen that over data.
I think that's the long-term plan, is to bring over a bunch of people and then hope that they will vote for you out of thankfulness of the fact that you did that. I think that's the long-term plan. The short-term plan is obviously to pad census numbers so you get more seats in a house. Yeah, there it is. They don't have anything concrete. They should drop this and move on. It could backfire. How could it possibly backfire? If he goes to Uganda, it's done. It's over. Problem solved. Yeah. Somebody in Discord super offended that you're saying he's a wife beater when Obrego's lawyers say he isn't one. Well, if I was his lawyer, I'd say he wasn't a wife beater too. But it's just crazy. Like, I mean, like, how many of you guys have ever just randomly gotten a police report of you beating your wife? Has anybody had that happen before? Never? That's crazy. Wow. What are the odds?
Pouring in where voter registration for Democrats is absolutely plummeted. It is an existential issue for them if mass deportations actually start to begin to happen, because their future voters will not be in the country. That's why they are fighting tooth and nail for these people who are dregs, who are the absolute worst in society, like Kilmar, who has done so much damage in his time in the United States. He has no reason to be here. And the fact that a major political party has united at every level with Mark.
I don't see how anybody could logically, like, I mean, this guy got caught with like 28 people in his car, and every single person in the car had his same address. Like, what do you think that was? I mean, really? What do you think that was? Like, I mean, you got to think about this for 5 minutes. Yeah. They're treating a pedo like Ghislaine Maxwell better than this poor guy. It seems like most Americans vote on entertainment value rather than actual policy. Americans, are you entertained? Well, that's a stupid way to look at it, right? Like, so a person like this doesn't have any value to the government. They don't have any information the government needs. They're not going to help anybody with anything. Whereas Ghislaine Maxwell could help the government with finding other sorts of pedophiles. So obviously you're going to be nicer to a person that you can get something out of versus somebody that you're not going to get something out of. Now, if we knew that she didn't have any of that stuff and we couldn't get anything out of her, then yeah, obviously you shouldn't treat the person that way. But that's not really what it is. That's a Maxwell interview. Yeah, it's only logic. And this is the problem, right? And or covering for the covering the president. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, brain dead chatter. Well, I think that, again, like a lot of people, and this is the issue that I think people have, is that they disagree with something and then they work backwards to justify, this is, what if the pedophiles are in the government? Well, then I'd want them to get exposed. Like, how's that even a question? Like, so what do you mean? What if there's a bunch of pedos that are in the government? Like, well, then I think we should expose them. Like, what I think that we should do to them, I can't say. I'd get banned. So, but yeah, that's what my opinion is on it. So it's really just that simple. And they are. I bet there's probably a lot of them that are. So yeah, it's really just that simple.
Margaritas in El Salvador, like Chris Van Hollen, to support him, has shown exactly how far this country has fallen.
This is no
we
logic.
Can have one of our major political parties unite behind illegal aliens. No, it should be for Americans. That's who America is for, not for El Salvadorian gangbangers that they're going to try to pretend are Maryland men like me. I find it despicable. So does most of the country. And I'm so thrilled to see in a couple hours this guy will finally be out. And I hope millions and millions more follow once the Trump deportation plan actually picks up steam. People got to realize the one big beautiful bill had a lot of money. Everyone who's freaking out now doesn't know what's coming next. These numbers are going to go up.
It's actually a good point. Yeah, it's going to get even more extreme because they allocated so much money to it.
Drastically, there will be commas in them. It'll be into the millions.
And we're going to see what's going to happen here shortly. I want to get to this before we let you go.
They're always trying to corner you into proving your bias with obvious choices. If they're PDFs, it doesn't obviously matter what they are. Lock them up. I think that the people that try to corner me with these, like, trying to expose a bias that I have, actually expose their own bias. Because in my mind, like, why would I want to protect anybody that's a pedophile? Why would I want to do that? It's like, it's such an obvious decision. Like, if somebody does something bad, then obviously they should get in trouble for it, right? And so the fact that you would even ask that question implies that there's a level of doubt in your mind. It's not even a question. Like, nobody thinks like that.
Over 2.6 million people signed a petition supporting the illegal migrant trucker accused of pulling an illegal U-turn and killing 3 people. So the petition read, quote, "This was a tragic accident, not a deliberate act. While accountability matters, the severity of the charges against him does not align with the circumstances of the incident. The driver has no prior record and fully cooperated with authorities." Obviously, he didn't have a prior record if he was here illegally, but I need your thoughts on this.
Yeah, it shows.
Petition calls for lenient sentencing for illegal migrant trucker accused of killing 3. Okay. Only 2 life sentences instead of 3. I think that's fair. Yeah, we'll only give him 2. Even though he probably should be getting 3 for the amount of people that he killed, we'll only give him 2. I think that's fair and reasonable. And, you know, we have to be generous and kind. Yeah, I mean, come on.
How bad and normalized it's become that we have CDL licensed truck drivers who don't even speak a lick of English and can't pass the most basics of tests to drive on a road with an 18-wheeler that ends up killing people.
Yep.
The only difference between him and a lot of other, these people in the country that he got caught in a vicious and terrible crime.
True.
Of course he needs to go, but the fact that millions of far-left advocates in this country are coming to support him shows the lengths that the Democrat Party has gone to instill this into basically their party line platform, that no matter the damage, they will support this type of immigration. It's going to lead for even more popular.
It's pathological performative narcissism. That's the reason. It's just a bunch of mentally ill people that are doing this because it makes them feel good to say it. There's no principle or logic behind it at all.
Calls
That's it.
For an immigration moratorium. We need baseline standards in this country, like our truck drivers actually being able to speak and understand English.
What?
It seems like a simple barrier to entry in that job, but apparently in this case it was not, and 3 people died as a result. Mike Howell, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking obvious, but for some people, they don't understand it, man. And I don't know what to say. Calls for lenient sentencing. What's the consideration of the families and victims? Well, that's the problem that a lot of people have with their empathy, is that this is the reason why I said that why don't they care about the 3 dead people? Because it doesn't fit into their virtue signaling worldview. That's the reason why. As soon as you understand that, like, a lot of the people, there's a big issue that I think a lot of people have, and they assume that the people that are advocating for this kind of stuff are doing so in a perspective of, like, trying to help out, or they have, like, good intentions or something like that. They definitely, definitely do not. They're just morons, really. They're just morons, and they're just doing it to make themselves feel good.
More on all those stories ahead, but first, another disturbing attack on ICE officers. A mob assaulting 4 agents in San Francisco, even threatening their families.
They gotta shoot them, bro. Like, if you're assaulting and hitting a police officer should have every right to defend himself. Like, if you're throwing rocks or something like that, they gotta shoot him. Like, this is crazy. On the spot, yeah. Like, I mean, this is so over the line.
Christina Coleman is live in Los Angeles with more on this. Christina.
John, dozens of protesters rallied outside of San Francisco's federal court building waiting for the release of a person
Kids throw rocks, dude? Why would I give a fuck about that? Everybody knows not to throw rocks at people. You know that whenever you're 5 years old. If you're throwing a rock at somebody, you can hurt them. It's that simple.
DHS identified as Adrian Guerrero, a U.S. citizen who federal officials say assaulted ICE officers and threatened law enforcement by saying, quote, "I'm going to go after your family and I'm going to stab you." Guerrero, who identifies...
Yeah, they should have just shot him. Yeah, I'm sorry. But, like, anybody getting mad about this... And I would say this if it was a private citizen. Like, if somebody said, "I'm going to go after your family and I'm going to stab you," like, and they're getting ready to stab you, I think you have every right to shoot them. Like, just right then and there, done. Not even a question. But don't need to kill? Well, I feel like that's... Why not, though? Why not? Really, like, why not? Like, that's it. I mean, like, yeah, shoot them. Exactly. Like, this is not... Why do we have to live in a society where there is any degree of leniency put towards these psychopaths? Why do we live in a world where we even want to give 1% of empathy to these parasites? This tolerance is killing people. That needs to stop.
As a woman and goes by the name Angie, was charged with assault and destruction of federal property after allegedly slashing the tire of a government vehicle. DHS says it happened on Wednesday when a group of about 15 to 20 violent anti-ICE rioters in San Francisco assaulted, grabbed, punched, and pepper sprayed ICE agents who were conducting targeted immigration enforcement in San Francisco. In there, that's it.
Yeah, they got to start fighting back. It's actually crazy that doesn't happen. It's unreal. The same people who think you should be jailed for misgendering or not agreeing with their politics do not want to be jailed for making threats on your life. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's insane. Like, I don't know what... I don't know how this shit happens, bro. Like, I really don't.
DHS says they surrounded and assaulted 4 federal agents. DHS says, quote, while standing at arm's length from an officer, Guerrero made repeated threats stating, quote, I'm going to F you up. I'm going to go after your family and I'm going to stab you. DHS says Guerrero was also in possession of a black knife and patterned headscarf.
I should have shot him. Definitely. Like, we got to stop putting up with this shit. Yeah, I mean, really, we gotta stop putting. Why we put up with this? What's going on? Like, why are we even? Why we take 1 second to even think about this shit?
During this incident, Guerrero was later granted bail and surrounded by supporters after being released, and had this to say about the situation.
I'm good, despite the brutality and repression that the federal government is placing on this city.
You'd be lucky you were alive. There's a reason, bro. He did this in Florida, he'd be dead.
My city, the city I was born in.
The attack on law enforcement in San Francisco was yet another example of violence against immigration agents.
Why would you release him? That's the problem. Is that I don't like the fact that Trump is not more authoritarian. I don't like the fact that he is not more aggressive with this. I don't think he even goes 10% of how far I would want him to go. Like, I would totally shut this shit down. Like, is it the liberal judges? It wouldn't be their decision. Just black bag him, put him somewhere else. Like, and also, by the way, like, that's it. Yeah, the same way, shut it down. Why did they not get upset when Obama did the same thing? Because he didn't. The way that the deportations were reported during Obama's presidency included people that were turned away at the border. So the actual amount of deportations that happened was much lower than what was reported.
DHS says ICE law enforcement are now facing a 1,000% increase in assaults against them as they risk their lives to arrest the worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens.
Yeah, anybody throwing a rock, anybody threatening with a knife, a federal officer, just instantly shoot them. Not even a question. And it's not even about being a federal officer. Like, I think if somebody throws a rock at you as a private citizen, if somebody threatens you with a knife, even kids, yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, you think a kid can't stab somebody with a knife? Of course. Yeah, anyone.
Despite all the violence...
Why is this so hard for people? Because they disagree with what's happening, and they want these people to be terrorized because it fulfills a political goal. That's the reason why. Yeah, don't flag up for PvP. If you're under level, don't flag up. What if the officer heard incorrectly? Figure it out in the court. Yeah.
Officials continue to carry out their operations in various cities nationwide.
We're making Los Angeles and California a safer place. We're going to continue to do that, and they can take that one to the bank and cash it.
And as for that attack on ICE agents...
Yeah, they're not. This isn't going to stop until they use deadly force. That's why none of this stuff happens in Florida. It's because in Florida, if you do this, they kill you. That's it. You're done. And so that's what they should do. Like, I don't know how they let this happen.
In San Francisco last week, and those allegedly involved. Guerrero now faces a maximum penalty of 1 year in prison and a fine of up to $100,000. John?
Yeah.
I'm surprised the maximum isn't even higher. Christina Coleman. Thanks, Christina.
Click here to subscribe.
Yeah, no, I think so. And anyway, let me go back. I see this here. And 1 year. I don't know about that, right? I mean, it depends. But, like, they got to put the people in jail for a really, really long time. Because you've got to make it a deterrent, right? If you, I feel the same way. If you don't agree with the arrest, wait till the day of court. Yeah, of course. I mean, like, that's the way it has to work. And so, yeah, people thinking it's weird to respond to threats of violence with deadly force. Well, the reason why, so this is the reason why. It's because they want that violence to happen. I mean, really, in most cases, the easiest answer is the correct answer. The most obvious thing is the correct thing. The reason why they are okay with it is because they agree with it. That's the reason why.